guys, how's it going? So today we're going to be out in the cut flower garden planting dahlias and glads. It is quite windy today and chilly, like low 50s I think right now. We've been in the high 80s, low 90s, and then it just kind of went back down into the low 60s to low 70s for the next 10 days, which is really nice. It's really nice planting weather, but it's been breezy every single day. So I think getting some like bulbs and tubers in the ground is a good thing to do today while it is breezy. That's why I'm starting this video in the greenhouse. I don't know if you can hear the plastic like blowing around right now, but it is. I'm not going to be able to do much talking once we're actually out there. The area is already prepped, so a lot of the work is already done for us, which is really nice, and we've showed that in another video. Like the staking system has been set up. We use the T-post every 8 feet, and then we run like a nylon rope. I don't know, it's kind of like a little bit stretchy at 2 foot and 3 foot high levels along those T-posts, and then that way as the dahlias reach that high we can start lashing them to the rope if we need to. We did place the staking system on the east side of the dahlias this time because the wind usually travels west to east, so when it's hitting the dahlias it's going to hit them into the rope this year. Last year we did it the opposite way, to where there was nothing like kind of holding them up or bracing them up on one side, so I think that that will be helpful. For irrigation we have drip tape with emitter holes every 6 inches. I tried the 12-inch emitter spacing last year because that's how far apart I spaced the tubers. That just wasn't quite enough coverage, so we switched it all to the 6-inch spacing. It works great. And then like I said, we space them every 12 inches, and we've amended the area already with land and seed compost and biotone starter fertilizer, and that'll be both for the gladiolus and the dahlias today. Now with the gladiolus I'll space those about every 6 inches. They don't need to be spaced out quite as far as the dahlias. In fact, with dahlias you can go 18 inches, but I found that the 12-inch spacing last year worked great. I was able to fit a lot in there. I counted the planting holes out there, and I think I have right around 288 planting holes for dahlias. That's a lot. And then glads, I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna have to dig all those holes today. Super huge shout out and thank you to Paul for helping me set up the area out there. He's done the bulk of the work getting this area set up while I've been prepping the dahlias. And let me tell you, dahlia digging, storing, cleaning, and dividing is not for the faint of heart. It's not something that I'm not sure I'm gonna do that again, not at this scale. I might just invite friends and family to come over next year and dig the tubers that they want, and that way I may like make my dahlia patch a little smaller and just try out new varieties every year. But it takes quite a bit of time, and maybe after you've had a few years under your belt you would get a little bit more efficient. I mean, we all do. We all figure out a better system to do things. The storage method though that we used was amazing. So I've done videos on that, on how I stored them. Oh my word, it's getting windier. Like at some point I just have to plant stuff. I keep looking out the windows thinking, oh, I don't want to do it today. I'm going to be in that dust bowl out there, but I think it's inevitable. I'm just going to have to suck it up and get these planted. Anyway, I can't remember where I was at. Maybe talking about the storage method. We'll put links to all the videos we've done about the dahlias up to this point because this is kind of the same information from last year when we planted dahlias. We did a video when I dug and stored them. I checked on them a few times through the winter, and then a couple videos on, let's see, dividing. Just one video on when I divided them. Anyway, we'll link those down below if you want more information. But the planting for both of these things is really easy, so I thought I'd just run through those before we step out into the wind, and we'll show you some close-up shots of each one of these. But so dahlias, spacing every 12 to 8 inches. They like heavily amended soil, compost starter fertilizer. You want a consistent source of water out there. Now today I'm going to be watering mine in one time because we are so dry and windy here. Typically you want to wait till you see green emerge before you start consistently watering. What else? You want to have a staking system in place. We dig holes or a trench 4 to 6 inches deep. You want to lay your tubers, most of the time they'll go kind of horizontal in your hole, and you want to make sure that the growth point or the eyes are facing up, and you'll just cover them all the way over to the soil surface level. Yeah. And then for our glads, we typically space those about 6 inches apart, and then they will go anywhere from like 2 to 6 inches deep in the soil. It depends on the size of corn. Typically I go about 3 inches though. I find that that's kind of a good happy medium. I see Aaron on the tractor. I think he's going to be working on spreading wood chips over this dust that we have out there while I'm planting. So anyway, I think at this point we just need to head out there and get this job done. I need to load the gator up with the tubers. I'm going to bring an auger out just in case I need to make some of the holes a little bit bigger. but that's pretty much it. Real quick, to keep myself organized, I did create a couple of lists, which I think are pretty accurate. I don't know. This one right here has all of the new varieties I'm planting this year, and then however many of each variety, like how many tubers I have. So I've got 90 total new ones. And then this is a list of all the ones that came out of storage right here. I actually had 251 that I held back because I wasn't sure how many new ones I had. So I'm gonna still have leftovers after today, but I gave away like 100 plus tubers to a friend who's getting married in September so that she could grow those and use them for her wedding, and I'll have more to give her after today. I even had to go through, so I actually have a total of 251 right here, but I broke them down. Like if I had, let's say Snowbound, I had 26 tubers of Snowbound. I do not need that many. So I'm gonna plant 10 and then I'll give her 16. Terra Cotta, I had 24 tubers, I'll plant 10 and I'll give her 14. So I had to eliminate 53 from this list so that they came out even. So I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully my math is right. And I've got tubers here, and then there are 3 crates of tubers over here. I just got through organizing them yesterday. They're not packed like very nicely right now. They're just kind of like tossed in these bins. But you can see like they need to get in the ground. They are starting to grow, but they look great, don't they? I'm really pleased with them. All right, so I'm just gonna load all this stuff up and we'll head out. Glads are still in the root cellar. Yeah. Look at these. They clearly love their life in storage. Oh, they're gonna be so happy to be in the ground. Here we are. So real quick look at the dahlia setup. Those are our stakes. You can see the nylon rope, you can see the holes with the amendments just kind of laying by the side, because I'll have to take my hand and kind of clean out each hole to get it to 4 to 6 inch depth. When you're using an auger this close to each other to dig holes, it kind of kicks some of the dirt back in, but it's all smooth and fluffy. You can see the drip tape along each row there, kind of. It's kind of masked by some dirt there. And then this is our Gladiolus row right here, which will be a little bit shorter, but you can see I already tested out 3 right there. And they're already growing. I'm hoping this process goes a little bit quicker than I think it's gonna go, but I'm as organized as I can possibly be, so I think we should be able to move through pretty quick. Although when you think about it, 288 holes, that's 288 squats, plus all the glad holes. I don't know how many we're gonna have there. I might be sore after today. Here we go. I'm going to start with these 90 new varieties first. You can see I've already planted a couple the other day. I planted Mambo and Hapet Blue Eyes, and I think that these will be in the most protected spot on the east side of this area, because I think that these dahlias here will catch the wind first, and then these will be a little more protected. Plus, with the new varieties, I kind of wanted to see them from our driveway a little bit better. So let me get in close on one of these before I take after all the rest of these and show you how I plant them. So this first one's called Night Butterfly. I always like to look back through the descriptions to see what colors and everything. So this one grows up to 36 inches tall and is white and red. So some really quick basic information on dahlia tubers. This is what's considered a clump. So it's a clump of several tubers. It is quite small, but it will produce a big plant. In fact, just one tuber will. So there's 3 parts that make up a dahlia tuber. There's the body right here, kind of the thicker part. That's what has all the energy and nutrients to form your plant and your blooms. Then it skinnies down. Typically it skinnies down. Sometimes it doesn't very much, but that's the neck of the tuber. The neck is what attaches the body to where the growth point is, or the eyes. So up here where they all connect together, I can see a growth point right here connected to a different tuber down below. But see right here, like where there is kind of that swollen spot right there? Hopefully you guys can see that right there. That is what is considered an eye or a growth point. So typically we lay our tubers down in the hole kind of horizontally with the growth point facing up. So I'm gonna kind of dig in here a little bit. I've had the irrigation on a bit, so it's a little bit more firm. We set our tuber right down in the hole like that. And then I'm going to cover back over with the soil that has the compost and starter fertilizer in it. Make sure to identify what varieties you have, especially if you're doing several. And that is basically what I'm doing for all the rest of these. I'm thankful the dirt is so fluffy out here. It's not actually very hard on the knees. All right, guys, I got them all on the ground. I'm trying to protect my microphone from the wind right now. It's been a project. I mean, this wouldn't have been that bad had the wind not been just howling all day long and just the dust out here. So anyway, we have started. Aaron was out here. I don't know that we got any footage of it, but he did spread some wood chips while I was doing this. But 60 varieties of dahlias total, 2 varieties of gladiolus. So the glads I planted are the same ones I used last year. So Alaska, which is a pure white, and then one called Lemon Drop, which is the most gorgeous kind of light lemony yellow. I don't usually like to design with glads because they're hard to design with. They're usually really long. They don't drape very well. They have a very strong structure. So I like to have a few just to group together in a vase just by themselves. But that's why I didn't add any extra varieties to that mix. But I did add a lot of extra varieties of dahlias this year. So I think right now, just so you can see some color and some beauty, because this right now doesn't look like a heck of a lot. It will soon. But I think we'll just play a little slideshow of all the varieties of dahlias that I planted this year. Ken, our editor, is probably cursing my name for saying that right now. It's a lot of extra work. But I think that you guys will enjoy seeing the flowers because it's going to be a beautiful patch this year if all goes well. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful just to see our process and just to hear some of the details. Dahlias are easy to grow. I highly recommend it. They produce tons and tons and tons of flowers. They are a perfect, I would say they're great for beginners, honestly, because there's not a whole lot to them if you're not planning on storing them. They just grow fast and produce amazing color. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.